Alright, hey guys, back again with another one. This is And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going, Jennifer Holliday. I'll just run the effects tracks real quick. So we have top two, nice bright reverb, then the ensemble just in general, no bass in this. Got echo verb. Give it a second. So this is only on for the intro. Only on for the intro. And then we have lead. And then we have monochorus. See, it's not that crazy. When it comes to effects tracks, I don't use that many, to be honest. Anyway, I've got to turn them off now because they're quite demanding on the CPU, and I'd like to be able to have a smooth breakdown video today, as smooth as possible. Cool. All right. So, the intro is, so if you listen to the single or the album version that Jennifer Holliday recorded, it goes bing, bing, bing. And I am basically it's to key the vocal. If the vocalist didn't need a key to come in, it would probably just start with the vocal, right? But the singer needs to know where they're coming in. So, but in a way that created a very iconic intro that I thought, for me, I'd love to take that concept of the ostinato pedal tone thing and turn it into a whole intro of its own and build harmonies around it and stuff like that. So I have the central do's. All of the effects are bounced in basically at this point. It's got a 16th note delay. I think in this case 8th, but for the sake of argument 16th. 16th note delay. And then we have a double, which is the oo without the consonant d. It's a H rather. So that's on one side, and then I have a double of that on the other side, and together it produces that effect. All together, so very nice. Okay, and then we have on every beat of the bar, and then I doubled it. Not as panned. Cool, and then I have these kind of paddy things come in, and they start off as like unisons with an octave, and then they move, one part will move down and then stay, and then the other part will move down, so you've got three going, right, you'll hear what I mean, so. Okay. So I think it's on eval. So this one's kind of mixed plays. And then you've got the basses kind of doing, so different vowel, not even a vowel, it's a fade out, then sub. And that's really it. There's these so one goes down while the other stays. And then they meet at the end. So they start on C, I think it's C. One goes down to F, the other holds the C, and then later scales down to F as well. And then they fade out on the unison F. And that's that. Okay. I am telling you. So he's starting off very heady. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best woman I'll ever know, and there's no way I'm ever gonna go now. Right, you get the idea. Anyway, so mezzo soprano. Cool, with alto. So they switch sides. La, la, just different stuff like that. Not living, no, no, from you. Yeah. I really wanted to capture some of that kind of soulful Broadway stuff that they did, so not living, no, kind of articulations and stuff like that. So space and baritone. I love you. No, no, no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. Not a living. Not living, no, no, from you. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, alright, bass. So these are pitched down and then normal. I really wanted this to be kind of like a bit Nat King Cole-y. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like 1950s, 60s. I don't know, I just wanted there to be some kind of like 20th century kind of retro elements to the arrangement. Best woman I'll ever know. There's no way And I've got some belty doubles in the background here. No way. You know, and then just to accentuate some of the parts. That's that really, and then it's just I've already kind of addressed the lead. I don't wanna be free from some. There's just lots of like orchestral layering, bringing out certain things, bringing focus to certain things, making certain things sound more chorusy. Sorry for being so yawny. I don't know. Anyway, so, but yeah, so it just occurred to me I didn't really break down like where my mind state was going into this arrangement, and I suppose one of the things initially that I was faced with was, oh crap, this is a big theatre, Broadway, female vocal, belty, kind of song, you know, and I love this song. I want to arrange this song, but my personality and the personalities that usually sing this song are completely different. So I suppose that's why it took me so long to even consider it, or even to try it really. But I had an idea, and I don't know if any of you guys know the song This Woman's Work by an artist called Maxwell. But it's a song, and it kind of starts off like boom, 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 ha, and he basically sings the whole thing in like a head voice place, and it has this really kind of sweet kind of lullaby backings, and just it's like a love song, you know. And that's what really inspired how I started this arrangement off. And then later, oh man, I don't know if any of you got caught up in that viral TikTok song that please don't, these beautiful things that I've got, where the guy's just singing in the 5th octave, screaming his face off. It's a great song, don't get me wrong, it's a freaking great song. But as we get towards the end of the arrangement, you'll see that I wanted that kind of rock energy in there as well. But yeah, so those were kind of my main two influences that gave me a platform to even consider doing this song. It's like, how do I make it work from me as a male who's coming from personality-wise, upbringing-wise, culturally-wise, a different place, right? Another technicality that helped me kind of relate to the song more is I switched the gender from "You're the best man I've ever known" to "You're the best woman I've ever known." So I just changed the rhythm, changed the lilt, the swing of it, just altered it completely to, I don't know, it just helped me relate to the song when these things are taken into account. So anyway. And then this is the first time we get an exposition of the brass section. So I'll break that down for you. So we have this. Cool, and then we have. Cool, and then we have triads. So it's a so really kind of leaning into that reinforced falsetto sound. And then we switch to chest register. Or mix. So in the original, that's a key change back to the verse. The verse is not in the same mode as the "You're gonna love me," bah. It changes mode and then it switches back. And I am telling you. So the ba ba is like a Mixolydian kind of vibe. La da da. Well, that's minor. La da da. With the voice and some of the harmonies doing the minor third as well. And then we're going back to "and I am" with the G natural. I'm telling you, boom, and love it evil lad, bah. And that transition in the original, it just settles on that chord, and I guess Jennifer Holliday just kind of makes it work. She just made it work. But it's kind of weird because I know that I couldn't make that work the way she does. So for me, I felt like I had to consider a reharm to get out of that kind of minor 7 and back into that kind of like major 7 on the A flat. Anyway, cool, and then so I'll just show you like what the, because it gets really brassy. Add bass, and you'll see what I mean about the kind of pop. So the bass, I go for a more kind of boom 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 vowel rather than having it ba, you know? So get as much sine low sub as possible. Belting my face off. There you go. And more bells. And then I got some automation. And then I brought it back just for some ambience. And then, so on the videos I'm doing this kind of wah, 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 with this kind of, basically, I'll bring it over. So it's supposed to be attached to like an old-fashioned record player, and so what I've done at the bottom here is I had some red electric tape and some gaffer tape, and I just taped up the bottom because I don't really want my mouth anywhere near like what's going on inside of this cone right here. it's a bit nasty. So I've taped it up so that I could put my mouth near it, you know, and not feel like I'm inhaling poisonous gases, you know, particles. Anyway, so this is what it sounds like, isolated. Cool, and then, alright, so what's left, I guess, is lead and percussion, so cymbals, basically. Cool, and then kick. There you go. I am telling you. And then we're into the second verse. There's no time. Both have the same mind. So yeah, there's no way, there's no way we're part of the same place. No, we've had same time. So yeah, the same. There's no rough times. Time and time we've had. Just thinking where to take you guys next. I suppose. Same place. This is pretty cool harmony. Cool, and then I'll add alto. Have the same mind. Tenor. Same mind. Cool. See, with this bit I was really thinking gospel, like organ or piano, or maybe a combination of both. Or sometimes if you listen to gospel musicians, they'll have on their keyboard they'll have a piano patch, and then they'll fade in as they're playing a string patch at the same time. So it'll be like ding ding, and they'll play chords like and then they'll fade it. It's banging, love it. Have the same mind. I hope with all of this animation I'm doing that you kind of get the idea that I'm thinking keys. Bass. Cool, and then I've got some doubles. I want this bit to be quite. Have the same mind and time. Cool. We're part of the same time. We both share the same blood. And this is the introduction actually of like belty chest voice. We both share the same blood. And we both have the same mind. And then my voice shifts into the mix. And from here on out. And we both have the same mind. And time, we've had so much to share. No, I'm not waking up tomorrow morning. So yeah, I mean, that I have some basic ideas of how to get into that kind of high mix belt thing. But I was thinking about how to explain this to you guys, and I think so like so I'd be like time, and I'd cut, and then I'd punch in, so I'd do this bit. We've had so much to and then we've had so much to share will be the next punch, rest, cut, and then I prepare each section that I can do all at once as and when I'm going along. So on this one I went no, I cut, and then punched in no, punched in it on the second. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and finding that there's. So I'm not waking up tomorrow morning, cut, work on the next phrase, and finding that there's cut, work on the next bit. No, because I've got to hold a really long high note. Nobody there. No, darling was a cut as well. There's probably another cut. No way. So I just did it in chunks. And I suppose this is the consequence or benefit, depending on how you look at it, from what system you're looking at it from, of learning how to sing with technology, with recording technology. I learned how to sing by recording myself and having an idea or an ideology about the sounds that I wanted to hear, and I would just shape my voice to the sounds that I was hearing in my head, and I was using technology to give myself the breathing space and the rest to push myself in ways that the vision of the idea required me to. So yeah. But the backings are all trucking along very kind of like smoothly at this point. And actually I never intended to kind of get that heavy with the vocal at this point. But I just felt like I had to. There's nobody there, darling, there's no way. No. And then the harmony slightly changes here. No way, I'm living without you. I'm not living. Not living. There's no way. So no way, I'm living without you. I'm not living. There's no way. So yeah, just like choosing breath spots, like not living there, like breathing on beat, part of the rhythm, making it part of the aesthetic. I'm not living. Part of the emotion, There's no way. And then what was it? I'm not living. Just four-way close voicings. I'm not living. There's no way. There you go, and then the bass is just kind of. Not living. So, because those notes are fake, I then went in and added, so we're introducing some new tracks here to the equation. It's probably the most Jacob Collier sounding part of this whole arrangement that I've probably ever done, because his bass sound is very similar. It's like, it's like so low mid, like rich, big, you know. Anyway,
I'm not living, not living.
Oh yeah, went in and doubled.
Oh no, no way, I'm living without you. I'm not living, not living. There's no way.
Went in and did some doubles. What's this? Ah.
Oh no, no way, I'm living without.
Ah, yeah, this has happened earlier, but it makes more of a feature here.
No, no.
And I'll explain why.
There's no way.
So I've just come out of mix belting my face off, which I'm not going to do right now.
There's no
And then I transition
way. No, 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 no way.
back into head voice, and on that transition I needed some support. So
There's no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. You see, there's just no way. There's no.
and this growl here,
No way.
it needed, again, it's not strong enough on its own, so I needed to
There's no.
added some like
Nah, 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 nah.
I can't even do it right now.
No, no way.
I just needed to add loads of like a really airy tone.
No.
I think I was just super warmed up at the time and I was just able to do that. But I'll show you the difference. So if I was to not have this,
No way. No.
still pretty good.
No way. No way.
But with it,
No way. No way.
just adds a layer to me. I just love it. And then
Tear down the mountains.
and then again, same deal. I started off in head voice.
Way. Tear down the mountains.
Tear down the mountains.
Way. Tear down the mountains. Yeah. Screaming.
Another growl, kind of weak. But
Way. Tear down the mountains. Yeah. Screaming.
this one, I think I just whispered. I just went. I just made my air rich with all the frequencies I wanted.
Yeah. Scream and shout. You can say what you want. I'm not walking out.
And I just went for it, really. And then there's introduction of the clicks. It's the only time they happen in this whole arrangement. Ba-da-da-da-ba. And then also we have some quite hocketing, I think it's called hocketing, bass lines. So it's like dum ding dum ding dum ding dum, stuff like that. Check it out. Yeah, awesome. What's this? Oh, just doubling. But basically, now we've gone from 5-part backings to 6-part backings. So we got. And it holds, so here's the top three. I'll give you top three. So I was just rinsing my mouth. So yeah, that's kind of crossing over a lot of sound worlds. We start off with the kind of contemporary, and then we get super like blues, kind of like jazz, like ragtime kind of that kind of like dominant 7th moving with the left hand type stuff. I'll show you with the bass. You see what I mean? Then we have that ba, ba, which I love doing. I'm such a fan of that. And then that was also. So as the bass goes lower, yeah. And then I have some of this going on. Ambience. And then I have it. And then I have one more note that comes in here. And this is kind of making use of tracks that I've already got extensive effects on. Just dropping the audio regions on those. You know, rather than making a whole new track.
There's no
And then we go back into head
kill.
voice.
I'm not gonna leave you. There's no
But there's no doubles, because I want it to be vulnerable, coming in, closing in, you know.
kill. I'm
Dropping in
not
dynamic.
gonna leave you. There's no way I will.
And then we're going back.
And I am telling you.
So this kind of like, to draw another theatre comparison, it's the what's the song? I can't remember what the musical's called, but it's the song that goes, I'm gonna take a deep breath, gonna put my and look you straight in the eye. I'm gonna flirt with somebody, which bringing the energy back down. You know, we've gone. It kind of, the dynamic has gone da 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 da, and then we bring it back down, and then we accelerate the dynamic. What I just sung there, I'm gonna take a deep breath. That one, which was famously sung recently, sung by people before, but by Cynthia Erivo, who sings the song amazingly well, like just it's flawless. And she explains why the song is so hard and why it's challenging, but hearing her explain it, I was like, wow, that's such an amazing effect of having this kind of like shepherd tone dynamic of like going up and then like, you know, going back down and then going up, you know. Anyway.
Ever know, there's no way I can ever go. No way.
So we're back down that lane.
I don't wanna be free from you. I'm staying.
And this is probably the most transcribed bit of the whole arrangement in terms of like the vibe, like, so this was the bit that we're coming up to the bit, sorry, that I made a voice note. Oh my goodness, I'm using the phone. I might put it in. I might put that voice note in. Was it my other phone? Either way, I'm going to try and find that voice note, add it to this session. I've just had a random, oh now the wind's picking up. I've just had a random idea for this song. I don't know where it came from, but we're going to make a log, okay? You're going to love me, and you, you're going to love me. You're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. And I'm telling you. Yeah. Wow. That could be really cool.
Oh, you're the best woman I've ever known, and there's no way I'm ever gonna go. There we go. And you, behind you, behind you, you're gonna love me. Oh, and you, behind you, you're gonna love me. Oh, ooh, you're gonna love me, yeah.
Because I actually was walking back home from the shops and I had this idea. And this is where the whole idea for doing this arrangement started. Is some of you may or may not know that I produce electronic music, and I used to produce electronic music, and I also went quite viral, got quite well known within the UK, kind of like in a small way, quite well known in like the UK kind of dubstep drum and bass world, because I released like a mixtape of like some music that I've made at the time, and I was like in college and Brit school, good times. And I wanted to kind of remix this song into like a kind of almost like dubstep kind of vibe, where it's like boom, boom, boom. Oh, so yeah, boom, 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 boom. All those kind of like cuts and like breaks in the beat, like all that kind of stuff, like a drop. I wanted it to be like a drop, which then kind of morphed into the influence of like that these beautiful things that we've got. Kind of that then came later, but anyway. So yeah, it's one big sus4 chord with extension. So boom ba 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 da da, and then it just modulates up a fourth. Some bass doubles.
Love me.
So yeah.
You're gonna love me.
So that you're gonna love me. So I wanted to just kind of bring the dynamic down, cut the reverbs.
You're gonna love me.
And then
You're gonna love.
it's just whispers.
You're gonna love me.
Getting really into that effect. There's some swishes, and then just a kind of drum fill. And then we just go. Absolutely. So we've got some fun new sounds coming in.
Love me.
Oh. 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 Yeah. Right. So it's got the outsider effect on, that's why it's kind of quiet for me. But so it's cling, cling, cling. I'm just going just cling, and then I just distorted it and compressed it like crazy, and then it's also layered with right, which is just me going and all that stuff.
Love me.
And we've got cymbals. I think these ones were re-recorded from, or no, these are different recordings from the first set. And then yeah, so just bass drum with the added to it, just to make it even more explosive. And then we have showed up. Basically, a lot of it's the same stuff. And then I've got like a lead double here. You're gonna love me. Just like you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yeah. You're gonna love me. Because without it just felt a bit kind of. You're gonna love me. A bit lonely. Like, you're gonna love me. That extra. You're gonna love me. Yeah. this is where we start adding. And then we have a kind of rehashing or a return of the ostinato, but now a third higher because it's modulated. So we've got this ostinato of the do's from the intro, the ding, 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 and I am there. So now they've returned it in this context. And we've got these little kind of interjections, the horns. And then we've got
Beam.
got the bass stuff, you know. You know. Yeah. It's just so much going on. And then we have like and we have like just a little bass interjection. Yeah, flabada bomb. There's just so many little things just thrown around a session.
Woo! Ooh, I'm not gonna leave you on.
And then
There's no way. Whoa.
took me forever to try and make my voice growl. I couldn't. It kept going into like a sweet kind of head voice thing. And it was driving me mad. And in the end, I just last ditch attempt, I kind of just did a throwaway take, and it kind of came out. And I was able to lean into it. The tricky thing is not necessarily getting there, even though that was years of its own right to find that kind of placement. But once you're there, being able to keep that compression, but also like close your pharynx at the same time, because your vocal cords are coming together in this slightly more compressed version of a head voice. And then you have to take the higher part of your throat and then bring that together, because there's cartilages on either side above your vocal cords that come together and produce subharmonic resonances. So it's like, right? So it's like that's what you're doing with your throat, basically. My lips are the cartilages. You're just adding to the pitch. So it's still there. Right? You're just doing this with your lips, but with your pharynx, and that's what produces that kind of effect. And it also, like it tickles with your lips, it tickles with your throat. And that's often what throws off people like myself, is because you feel the tickle with the throat and you go, oh, that's going to be bad for me, I'm going to get nodules. But when you do it with your lips, you feel a tickle with your lips. It's just an unfamiliar sensation, and the more you do it, you become better at balancing the airflow. So you can do without having to force it, and you can also produce a note with your vocal cords at the same time. So it's like right. So it's same principle, but just with your throat. It's just you can't see what's going on, and that's probably what makes it quite triggering.
I'm not gonna leave you on. There's no way.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Just these little. I didn't actually end up doing video breakdowns for that.
Bing.
Just lots of fun little.
Bing. Hey, no way, no way, no way, no way. You're gonna leave.
And then like.
Bim, bim.
It's just such a simple little. And then we end with controversial choice of chord, but. And then. Oh yeah. Doubles. So that's a bit of a. I lifted that from Billy Porter's. There was a re-release of the Grease musical, but like a kind of dolled up, sold up kind of edition, and they got Billy Porter to do like one of the main characters. Not the main character. Was it a main character? I can't even remember, but it was the angel or something like that. There's like an angel in the musical that kind of tells the dropout, the beauty school dropout, to go back to school, go back to high school. And then
'Cause I know.
Can't vouch for this kind of singing as a technique.
I know.
It's just when you sung in that high register, like at that point I'd sung like the whole day I'd sung in that register. So I could kind of lean into it and break rules and go against the grain a little bit without doing anything, you know, serious.
I know. You're gonna love.
So this was done in 2 takes. So
Me.
and then I punched in there. So I'm just bringing the sound, but I like doing it that way because it's intense. And then these are the notes for the outro. So cool. I'm really trying to imitate the brass, you know. So, I don't even know what that is, how you write that down. But if you know, you've all heard like trombones, trumpets do these kinds of like, it's done by, I think that what they do is they run down the harmonic series with their lips, and then they just go like that with the valves. So it's like, you know, parallel voicings, and then triad. Yeah, all right. So that's the top 4 voicings, and then. So I'll do this together. There you go. What the heck? Whoa. So dissonant. All right. The root is A flat. This chord that we're landing on before the penultimate chord we're landing on before the ending is a D. And then we got sub with some percussion. And that's how you make it, that's how you do the big band thing, I guess. There you go. And then you got just noise. Just blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's how you produce something like this, you know. And I hope you enjoyed that, and take care, and see you on the next one.